What's good, fam? A kid from the gritty streets of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, barely a teenager, spitting bars that hit you right in the chest, dreaming of a way out. That's Kentrell Deshaun Gaulden, NBA YoungBoy.
A young boy will have to spend 2 more months in jail. Judge Bonnie Jackson also ordering 14 months of house arrest once he's released. Young boy's real name is Kentrell Gaulden. He'll have to wear an ankle monitor during that house.
Before the world knew him as a rap legend. But his story ain't just about the music. It's a wild ride through courtrooms, jail cells, and headlines that just won't quit. From a robbery charge at 14 to a presidential pardon at 25.
Rapper set to be freed after he was given clemency by President Donald Trump, talking about NBA YoungBoy.
YoungBoy's legal saga is as raw as his lyrics, full of drama, loyalty, and a fight to keep going. We're diving into every corner of his criminal record, from the 2016 drive-by that had his friends dropping $60,000 to get him out.
Did you guys have money for lawyers and everything else like that?
Yeah.
Was that from the advance?
No, that was from us. Like all the lawyer fees and man, that's out our pocket.
Okay. How much did you spend on lawyer fees? 100,000?
Man, not at that time. Probably about 60.
To the 2018 Jania Michelle hotel incident that blew up online, to the shadow of G Money's 2017 murder that kept cops on his trail. With 9 mugshots, over 9 charges, and a life shaped by his circle, Buzilla, Dog, NBA Lil Pap, and more. This is YoungBoy's story of survival, told straight from the heart for the fans. Grab a seat, 'cause this is gonna keep you locked and subscribed for more similar content. Let's take it back to Baton Rouge, where Kentrell's coming up in a world that's anything but easy. At 10, he's a kid with big dreams, standing outside his house, soaking in the chaos of the street. By 13, he's still there, tougher, wiser, but already feeling the pull of trouble. By 2014, at just 14, he's hit with his first charge. Robbery in Tallulah, Louisiana. 6 months in a juvenile detention center is a harsh wake-up call for a kid, and it's like the system's got him marked from the jump. But even then, he's writing rhymes, turning pain into bars that'll soon have the streets buzzing. Fast forward to 2016, and things get real. YoungBoy, now 16, is arrested on November 28 in Austin, Texas, right before a concert, slapped with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder for a drive-by shooting back in Baton Rouge on November 2. WAFB lays it out. He was a passenger in a car driven by Derek Lil D. Geis with Lil D's juvenile brother, Lil Geis, and another unnamed homie. They fired at a group in the 2000 block of Kentucky Street, hitting one person in the neck, who survived. The car crashed after a flat tire, and all 4 bolted. Police fingered YoungBoy as the shooter, saying he let off multiple rounds.
Have arrested this man in connection with a shooting that led to a lockdown at 3 schools. 20-year-old Derek Geis is accused of driving the vehicle away after shooting 37 shots on Nebraska Street yesterday morning.
It was retaliation for the murder of his cousin, Keandre Ricks, killed just hours earlier, per Hip Hop DX. His beef with Scotty Big 13 Kane, with diss tracks flying back and forth, had Baton Rouge on edge, per the Fader. His brother, OG3, told Vlad in an interview they shelled out $60,000 in legal fees from their own pockets to fight this case, and YoungBoy was locked up from November 2016 to May 2017.
Fees and man, that's out our pocket.
Okay. How much did you spend on lawyer fees? 100,000?
Man, not at that time. Probably about 60.
I mean, for a couple of young kids out of Baton Rouge.
Those charges could have meant 40 years, but he pleaded guilty to aggravated assault with a firearm on August 22, 2017, getting a suspended 10-year sentence, 3 years probation, and a $50,000 bail.
He pleaded guilty to a reduced charge. Kentrell Gaulden, better known as NBA YoungBoy, pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of aggravated assault with a firearm. And the 17-year-old is accused of being involved in a drive-by shooting.
He dropped untouchable like he was spitting in the face of the system, and y'all ate it up, streaming it like crazy. But that probation was a chain, ready to snap.
That's a bet.
Now, let's talk about G Money's murder, the altercation that cast a long shadow over YoungBoy's legal troubles. On September 10, 2017, Garrett G Money Burton, a TBG Top Boy Gorilla rapper, was gunned down at 22 outside his Dallas Drive studio in Baton Rouge, per WAFB.
Garrett G Money Burton was shot and killed in 2017 just as his music career was about to take off.
G and YoungBoy were once tight, like brothers, but their 2017 beef over G's song disrespecting YoungBoy's sister turned NBA and TBG into enemies, per The Advocate. The murder wasn't pinned on YoungBoy, but his associate DeAndre NBA Lil Pap Fields was arrested on June 7, 2019, for second-degree murder.
Burton went by the name of G Money. He was found shot to death in the parking lot on Dallas Drive there. Police arrested DeAndre Fields for second-degree murder.
Shell casings and phone records linked Fields, who admitted he'd ride for NBA, per The Advocate. On January 23, 2023, Fields took a plea for accessory to murder, getting 5 years, per Hip Hop DX. Whispers on X, per All Rap News, pointed to Ben 10 Fields being involved, but no charges stuck. The murder amped up police heat on YoungBoy's 2016 probation, with cops calling NBA a gang, which hit him hard in later arrests. Then comes the Jania Michelle incident, a messy chapter that blew up big. On February 11, 2018, YoungBoy's arrested in Tallahassee, Florida, before a show at the Moon nightclub, hit with assault, weapons violations, and kidnapping charges tied to a Georgia warrant. It went down at the Hyatt House in Waycross, Georgia, where YoungBoy, 18, and his girlfriend, Jania Michelle, got into it. Leaked hotel footage, per XXL, showed him pushing her down, grabbing her hair, and dragging her into a room. The kidnapping charge came from claims he kept her in the room, and weapons violations likely tied to guns with him or his crew, breaking his 2016 probation. Jania, a Baton Rouge native, was all over his social media, and their drama was public. No other players were named, but the footage sparked a firestorm on X, with fans split, some saying, "Cantrell's just young," others calling it unforgivable. He was released on $75,000 bail by March 15, per Billboard, and pleaded guilty to simple assault in December 2019, getting a 1-year probation sentence, per The Advocate. Jania later posted on Instagram, per All Rap News, saying she wasn't trapped, but had her issues with YoungBoy.
You know, talk to us, tell us what happened or not?
As soon as we're done with everything, we'll take off the handcuffs, okay? But
yeah, I don't have a statement. I don't want to be detained in these handcuffs like this. I'm properly if I haven't committed a crime or done that.
Okay. All right. Give us a second, okay?
Okay, no voluntary statement.
Hey, he's not willing to give a
So,
statement.
you know, any statement, any voluntary statement?
No, sir. Mr.
No,
Martinez, I don't want to give a statement. I don't want to be in this.
The G Money murder made cops watch YoungBoy closer, and this violation didn't help. In 2019, trouble keeps coming. A bodyguard, Big B, sues YoungBoy for assault from a December 2018 concert in Florence, South Carolina, claiming injuries, per The Advocate. On May 12, 2019, a shooting outside Miami's Trump International Beach Resort injures YoungBoy's girlfriend, Kaylin K. Marie Long, and kills bystander Muhammad Dradi, 43.
What happened? You give me the police car. Who got a car?
What happened to her? What happened to her? They're going to ask me questions. What happened to her?
YoungBoy, with bodyguards Ben, Big B, Fields, and Trillendrick Boomer Norman, returns fire in self-defense, dodging charges but violating his 2016 probation by being with these associates, per The Advocate. Cops linked this to the NBA-TBG feud, with G Money's murder as a root, seeing it as gang retaliation. YoungBoy gets 90 days in jail, a 14-month performance ban, and house arrest with monitoring. By December 2019, his 2016 probation ends, but the Jania plea keeps him on probation. 2020 brings more heat. On September 28, YoungBoy's arrested in Baton Rouge during a video shoot, one of 16 nabbed for drugs and stolen firearms. Associates like Brandon Boozy Williams and Jason J. Money Williams are caught up, per Rolling Stone.
A broad daylight drug bust, landing 16 men behind bars tonight, including Baton Rouge rapper NBA YoungBoy.
It's crazy.
$39,000 in cash.
Yeah, the YoungBoy is in jail.
His cousin BBG Bazila, seen with NBA Michi and NBA Baby Joe, wasn't in this bust but shaped YoungBoy's world, with his death mourned in tracks like Mr. Grim Reaper. Another homie, Darian Dog Bailey, faced manslaughter charges in 2022 after a fatal car crash while fleeing police, with YoungBoy shouting him out in Free Dog, per YouTube. YoungBoy's lawyer said no contraband was on him, but G Money's murder kept cops on NBA's tail, per the Advocate.in 2021, the feds hit hard. On March 22, YoungBoy's arrested in Los Angeles on a 2020 Baton Rouge warrant. After a chase, police find an FNX.45 pistol in his Maybach.
Rapper NBA YoungBoy was arrested and taken into custody. The 21-year-old, whose real name is Kentrell Golden, was wanted on an outstanding warrant. Officers tried to pull him over around 11 a.m. Monday. They say he refused to stop and eventually took off on foot. He was arrested around 1 in the afternoon.
Booked on federal firearms charges, he's released on $1.5 million bail on October 26, 2021, and found not guilty in California on July 15, 2022, per the New York Times. The Baton Rouge case drags, with G Money's murder fueling gang allegations. By 2023 to 2024, YoungBoy's on house arrest in Utah, trying to stay clean. He pleads guilty to the Baton Rouge firearm charge on August 16, 2024, getting 23 months in prison, 60 months probation, and a $25,000 fine on December 10. Then, on April 17, 2024, he's busted in Utah for a prescription drug fraud ring, facing 63 charges, including identity fraud and possession of controlled substances. Fox 8 Live details a scheme targeting promethazine with codeine, with associates using fake names like Bethel White and Gwendolyn Cox.
This week at his Mill Creek home in what the Cache County Sheriff's Office is calling an ongoing investigation into criminal conduct. 24-year-old, whose given name is Kentrell Golden, has been confined to house arrest since 2021, awaiting trial for a federal firearms charge. He was booked into the Cache County Jail yesterday on suspicion of unlawful activity, including identity fraud, forgery, possession.
Two women, Lil Mama and T, were arrested in YoungBoy's Chevy Tahoe on January 17, 2024.
Okay, keep coming. Hands on top of your head. On top of your head. There we go. Hey, Mr. Golden. Any weapons on you, sir? An engineer and your brother? What's your brother? What's his name, sir?
At Larry's Pharmacy in Smithfield, with weed residue and a .45 caliber case. A juvenile, Lil K, got nabbed January 19 at Tremonton Community Pharmacy. Big Homie picked up a script on September 15, 2023. The Cache County affidavit, per KSL.com, calls YoungBoy the leader. He pleads guilty on November 18, 2024, to 4 felonies, reduced to misdemeanors, and 6 misdemeanors, paying $25,000 per USA Today. G Money's murder kept cops watching, per the Advocate.in 2025. YoungBoy's released on April 26, and Trump pardons him for the gun charges on May 29, per AP News. Cache County cops, per the Salt Lake Tribune, are salty, but YoungBoy's hyped, announcing the Massa Tour 2025, starting September 2 in Dallas, per the Times of India. His 9 mugshots, per user input, show over 9 charges, from robbery to fraud, with Trump's pardon covering some. YoungBoy's hate for jail was real. In a bootleg Kev interview, he said his mind was set on incarceration during Utah house arrest, frustrated and drained, barely wanting to think.
Could you ever see yourself retiring? Is that even something? You're 24 years old. You have, I don't even know how many albums at this point. A lot. Could you ever see yourself, do you have thoughts about what happens after rap?
I'm kind of set on going to jail right now, so I don't really think about too much.
Thank you for watching and supporting us.